G'day guys. Purpose of today's video is to show you how to charge your batteries with your UP100 charger. Before we even get started, take out your instruction manual, have a quick flick through it. It's going to contain all the information I'm going to cover today and a bit more in depth if you want to know anything else. Once you've had a read of that, we can move on. So what are you going to need to get started flying? Let's find out. UP100 charger, the 240 volt power cord, a 2 to 6S balance board, and finally the positive and negative power cables to XT90 connector. Before you start charging any batteries, you want to inspect them. To start, have a look for the writing on the side, any information about it. So this will tell you that it's a 5,000 milliamp battery. 22.2 volts tells me it's a 6S. Some batteries might have 4S, 5S, 2S, 6S written on it. This one's got the voltage, so 22.2 is a 6. One thing that you want to have a look for is if there's any swelling. Swelling is an obvious sign of damage to the battery. So just hold it profile side on. Just have a look and make sure that there's no obvious bulging within the battery. That's an obvious sign that there's a damaged cell and it should be discarded immediately. Also have a look at the plastic sheath. Make sure that there's no damage. Have a look at the bottom, again, no swelling. Next thing to look for is the power cord and the balance plug. So just have a look and make sure that all the cables are intact. There's no damage. There's no damage to the plastic connector. On the power, have a look at the XT90 connector. Just make sure there's no damage up here. Nothing looks too corroded. The power cables are all intact. Just give it a slight little tug. Make sure it's tight, not loose. And then have a look just down on the inside in here and make sure there's no damage. This battery looks good to go, so I'm going to get it charged. First thing you're going to want to do is plug your charger into your mains power. So take your mains power cord that you've got, just plug it in the back of the charger. Once it's in all the way, you'll see that it turns on and you're presented with some information on the screen. When installing the balance board, it's very important. Have a look at the plastic clip and there's a little clip on the top. You're going to want to put that in so it lines up with the top part of the balance socket. Do this and you're going to wait till you hear a click, just like that. Next, you're going to want to install the XT90 connector to the power cords. Black into the black, red into the red. Just make sure that they're fully engaged and that is good to go. The next thing to do is to set your charger up to charge the battery that you have for your drone. I have LiPo batteries, which is what you will have, so you will need to change this from lithium ion to LiPo. How you do that is you're going to push this stop button, battery type button, once, and it's going to take you into this program select. You're going to want to use the plus or minus keys here, the status, left or right, and just go through left or right until you find LiPo. Once you've found LiPo, just press enter here on the right, and that locks it in for LiPo battery. The next thing to do is to change the amps and the cell count depending on your battery. During the battery inspection, you would have seen that it would have been a 5,000 milliamp and a 22.2 volt battery, which is a 6S battery, 6 cell. So what I want to do is change this to 5 amps and that to 6S. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to the end and I'm going to hit enter once, and that's going to start flashing this option for me. So now I'm going to use the plus or minus keys here just to go up to 5 amps. And once I've done that, I'm going to hit enter. And it's going to give me the option to change the battery cell. So I'm going to go up to 6S, which is 22.2 volts. And I'm just going to hit enter. Different size batteries charge at different levels. So if you have a 5,000 milliamp battery, such as this one, that 5,000 milliamps, you're going to want to charge that at 5 amps. If you have a 4,500 milliamp battery, which is this one, the most you want to charge it at is 4.5 amps. And if you have a 6,800 milliamp battery like this one, you're going to want to charge that at 6.8 amps. When you're charging your drone to go fishing, you're going to want to always charge in balance mode. What balance does is it ensures that there is an equal charge across each of the cells in your battery. It is the safest way to charge your drone, and we recommend it highly to charge in balance and only balance. To do that, you're going to want to change this fast charge to balance. How we do that is simply by going left or right with these two keys. And there's balance. This charger is now set up to charge my 5,000 milliamp battery, 6S LiPo. To install your battery into the charger, you're going to want to connect the power port of your battery and your balance plug of your battery into the two items connected to the charger. To do that, you're going to want to grab your XT90 connectors, and you'll see that there is a definitive shape, so it can only be installed one way. That's to ensure that positive and positive is installed together. And you can see here, there's like a little roof looking thing here. So what you're going to do is you're just going to put those two together and push until it's fully connected. You might get a little spark, that's okay. The next thing to connect would be the balance board to the balance plug of your battery. If you look at the balance plug of your battery, you'll notice there's these two little grooves, and what they line up with is the two little grooves on the balance board. That's to ensure that they're all lined up in the correct spot. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that this is like this. Put your finger behind and then just push until it's made it all the way. Now that you've got your battery connected to your charger with the correct settings for a LiPo battery, we're going to charge it in the balance function. We're going to put 5 amps in, and it's a 6S battery. In order to start the charger, what you want to do is you want to hold the enter key down the end on the right, and the charger will check that all the parameters are the same as the battery. You have to be quick here to press enter. And now that charger is charging the battery. Now this charger is charging the battery in balance. This is the information on the screen. So this is a LiPo 6S. It's currently charging at 4.2 amps. This is the current voltage of the battery, which is 23.28 volt. A fully charged 6S battery will take you to 25.2 volt. It's in the balance function. This is the time elapsed, and this is how many milliamps have been put into the battery. If at any time you need to stop charging, all you do is hit the stop key on the left, and it will take you back to the home screen. Once you get home from a day's fishing with the drone, you're going to want to ensure that your batteries are kept and maintained in the best possible condition. And to do that, what we do is we put them back on charge and we put them into storage mode. And what that will do is it will charge the batteries back up to about 40%, and that is the optimal voltage in which to store your batteries. Never leave your batteries fully charged or fully depleted. In order to put batteries into storage, you're going to want to connect the batteries back up exactly how you would to charge them. So the balance port in the balance board and the power from the battery plugged into the power of the charger. Once everything is connected again like this, what you want to do is then reset different parameters on the charger to put it into storage. On the charger, you can see we've got LiPo, which is correct, balance, which is not correct, 5 amp, 22.2 volt, and 6S, which is all correct. What we want to do is we want to change this to storage. So again, what you're going to do is you're going to use the left and right here to move this until you find the storage option. Just like that. Once you've got the storage option, keep it at 5 amps, which is the size of your battery, and everything else is good. Just click and hold the enter key. It'll check the battery, and then hit enter one more time. So as you can see, we've currently got a LiPo 6S battery, which is at 23.01 volts. It's in the storage function. 30 seconds, and that's how many milliamps there is. When you are putting a battery into storage, if a 6S is above 22.8 volts, which is 40%, the charger will start to discharge your battery. It'll only ever do it at 0.4 amps. It won't go any higher. This is as high as it gets. It is recommended that you fly your drone to discharge it down to storage voltage. This will take forever. We at CutaCopter only ever recommend charging your drone battery in the balance function and discharging and storing it in the storage function. This will ensure that each cell of your battery is carefully charged and discharged, which will prolong the life of it and keep it safe. Once you've finished charging or discharging your batteries, you're going to want to remove everything. First thing is to remove the balance port from the balance board. You're going to want to be very careful with this so you don't pull out any of the wires. Never pull it by the wires. Always use your fingers and your nails to get underneath the sides here and pull it out just like this. Okay, never pull it by the wires. The next thing to do is to pull apart the XT90 connector. Just grab that one there and that one there with your fingers and just pull, just like that. To disconnect the cables on the charger, the red and the blacks, just pull them out like that, nice and easy. And with the balance board, there's a little clip on the top. Just push down on that with your finger and then just pull it. Don't pull it with the cables. Battery storage and maintenance is critical. After you've finished storing your battery on the charger, you're going to want to store it physically. How you're going to want to do that is with something like this, which is a coil case, a LiPo guard. These can be bought cheap on Amazon, eBay. What it is essentially is just a case, a fire retardant material. and you can just grab your batteries, put them in, just like that, zip it up, and that's good to go. Another battery storage solution that is even more robust than the LiPo-Guard core case battery is something like this, a bat safe. What this is essentially is a really thick box, you can see here, and it's made out of a fire retardant material again, but it has little vent holes at the top which just allow the escape of gases in case a fire does go up, so nothing will combust within your house. Again, it is put your battery in just like this, close the lid, latch it. That is safe storage of your LiPo battery. When charging your batteries, it is recommended to never leave them unattended. Never leave a LiPo battery unattended when it's charging. Never leave a battery connected to the charger once it's finished. And it is always recommended to charge within something like that LiPo cold case. Just pop the battery in. These are short, which is a bit of a pain, but just pop the battery in like this, close it up, zip it, just like that. And in the case of a fire, it'll all be contained within here.